Hello again, this is Rich Johnson from RJ Consulting, and today I wanted to show part 2 of the exporting the bill of materials for Eagle. So I just want to show you when the database is all set up, which I showed you how to import stuff, what the outcome would look like. So real quick here, I have a design here that is actually laid out and ready to go, and so I'm going to click the BOM-EX. In ULP, I have a BOM-EX.ULP. This opens up this area where it lists all the parts on the board. I'm going to load the database file. So then it populated all the fields. Then I'm going to click Export BOM, and I want a generic People usually go this route when it's actually not helpful. It's better just to go generic. And then click OK. I always use tab. CSV, sometimes commas are added in the part numbers for whatever reason, and so to make sure that there's no weird parsing of your file, tab is just best. And if you were doing multiple builds, so say if you needed 10 of these boards, I would put 10 there. For now, we're just going to put 1. And then it's going to save a text file. And just to make this easy, I'm going to throw it on the desktop as it was exported. And then I'm going to open Excel. File. Open, browse, desktop. Oh yeah, you gotta tell it all files. And then it's going to say, yeah, it's delimited. It's going to figure out it's a tab delimited system, and then finish. And then here you go. Here is your bill of material. So it lists all the parts. It includes manufacturing part numbers and all the required values that you could just send this over the wall to a CM for the board to be built. This is a lot better contrast versus what you normally would do. You go File, Export, Part List. I'm going to put this on the desktop as well. And you would get something that looks like this. If I can find it. It's in here somewhere. Oh, why is it not opening up? There it goes. Open Notepad. So this is what you would get, and it's library determinate, and you would have to start adding all information from the supplier to actually include this. So this, and it also doesn't concatenate parts that are the same. So it says these parts are the same parts, obviously, but it doesn't recognize that, which is a pain in the butt. So this is how you would go about setting up the database file. We'll start there. So I'm just going to click where I want this storage file. I always put everything for me on a network drive, but you can put it wherever you want. It doesn't really matter. Right click, new, and you just click text document. And then you can name it whatever you want. It really doesn't matter. Okay. So I named it. I open it up. It's actually better to open up Notepad++. And then it really doesn't matter the preambles for this. It works regardless. But if you wanted it to be correct, the columns would be this: manufacturer part number, tab, MFG name tab, VID tab, vendor part num tab, description tab, package code. Line enter. That's an important part. Every time you put an entry, if you ever have to put in anything manually, you always want to have a line feed there, so you're back to right here, or it's not gonna cause a system issue, but it just makes it look a little messy when the system's entering in information. So that is done. The next part you'll need for the BOM-EX is actually the BOM-EX. So if you go and do some good Googling, you can just download BOM-EX. I have version, I think it's 15.6 or it's 1.56. I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember how they name it, but the reason why I have an earlier one instead of a newer one is that the newer ones I never could get working. So I just stuck with an older one. It works great. I've never had an issue. I've used it to make boards with hundreds of parts on the board, and it's never miscalculated or had an error. So I don't know what is in the newer version that's causing it to malfunction, but I'm just staying away from that and using an older version. So you're going to drop this file that you download from the internet in your Eagle ULP, and then you're just going to run BOM-EX.ulp. And you do this in your schematic. And the way it comes up with these values right here is this part number. The value is coming from what you sign in your library. The part number is what I'm going to talk about next, and then the package code, and then the actual name of the part. And see how it truncates. If it's the same part, it truncates it. So that's nice. The way it knows what the part number is a value you have to add during the library creation. And I'm not going to show you how to do it in the library, but I'll show you how to do it in the schematic at the moment. So say you've created this part in the library, and you need to add the part number to it, the manufacturer part number, so that BOM-EX can coordinate that with the database file. So you click the attribute, you click on the part, and then you assign an attribute to it. So as you can see, the attribute's already been assigned to this. That you name the attribute type part no. So it's and it's all caps, PARTNO. And then the value is the manufacturer part number. And then you click OK, and then that is now got the part number. So when you have the database file that you've been creating by entering the DigiKey part numbers, and you've assigned the manufacturer part number to the part, that then links those two when you run BOM-EX. And I just click the load database file, and then bang, it's done. It found the manufacturer number, so it linked the manufacturer, the vendor ID, the vendor part number, and a little bit of data about what the part is, what kind of package it is, and which is all helpful. So, and then you've seen the export process. So that's just a quick little tutorial on how to operate the BOM-EX portion on the Eagle side.